Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's January 4th, 2019. Already 4 days in. This is the first message of 2019, explanation of it. And this is the second now of a conversation between Archangel Michael and God. And shares a little bit more about what they talked about first time. Well, the first one was more Michael saying what God was saying. This one is kind of equal, half and half. It starts out with Michael speaking. Betwixt, between, all that's unseen. Now, betwixt is just an archaic or ancient form, older form of between. So they're using, well, my first thought after looking it up was, why say both? They mean the same thing. But it being archaic and taking it as betwixt, referring to the past, between to the present. So past or present, betwixt, between, they just drop the or, betwixt, between, all that's unseen. So before and now, all that's unseen, so throughout all time, all that's unseen, lies, deception, all manner of misconception. To the masses, all that passes, into the fray each and every day. So past and present, throughout all manner of misconceptions, lies, and deception that existed, to the masses, put forth to the masses, and all that has passed into the fray, all that has passed into the fray and still does, into the mixed, into the world, each and every day. So basically throughout all time, all the good and bad gone on. And he goes on to say, I saw man at first creation. So Michael's saying he saw man at first creation. He was there. Long before any civilization. By his side, God's side, questions I asked, before all the souls had been cast. In other words, before all souls had been created and placed in, I think in the Hebrew Bible it mentions Goth. I think it's Goth. Something is a word for the container of souls. All the souls were kept after he created them. So a cask, of course, is a large barrel we keep wine and some liquids in. So it's just a large container, the container of souls, basically what he's talking about. Before all souls were created and placed into one place, then God speaks. So he's saying that he saw man at first creation long before any civilization, which meant the first soul, which would have been Adam, or you don't believe that specific name, the actual first man, was before all the souls were created after that. So he stood by God's side and he had questions for him. Then God says, to the land I gave, they shall stumble. So to the land, he already saying before he even put man on land, he confirms that he knew we were going to screw up. To the land I gave, they shall stumble. Moaning, complaining, constant grumble. Yet in the end, many shall have penned, or many shall have written down, words I'll speak for the humble and meek. So those who are humble and meek will hear the words truly. Words of solace, which is comfort, love, hope, and thus they'll still seek, for they'll be weak. Then Michael says, why? I asked, to which replied. Meanwhile, turn the page. If I can turn the page. Why, I asked, to which God replied. And God says, for I am God, to be not denied. Give myself for everyone. I give myself and of myself, everything of him is to everyone and for free. Countless numbers when I'm done. Countless numbers of humans, of souls, of men and women when I'm done. In the end, they'll gnash their teeth just like they did just before the flood. And as he said, this Revelations, they'll be gnashing of teeth. In the end, they'll gnash their teeth. Few believing what I'll bequeath. Few believing in heaven, and in him, in salvation. And increasingly, more and more are not believing that. For the day shall come upon them like a thief, when all will be gone. As Jesus warned, thief in the night. So way back then he was telling Michael that. The day shall come upon them like a thief, then all will be gone. All that we have, all the things we see as it is now will be gone. Recreated, remolded, reshaped, remodeled, basically, the earth. And Michael says, Lord, my God, this faith and love, of which before you had spoken of. Remember that last conversation message? He asked him, God some questions. God said to test their faith, test their love. So he's addressing that. Lord, my God, this faith and love, of which before you had spoken of. So this obviously took place after that previous one. So Lord, my God, this faith and love, of which before you had spoken of, shall be rejected by so many, to be created. Their ravenous desires endlessly unsated. Again, he's telling them, this faith and this love you spoke of before, it shall be rejected by so many that are going to be created. Their ravenous desires are endlessly unsated. Our ravenous desires are lusts and hungers for the things of this world, endlessly unsated, which means never satisfied. We're never satisfied with all those things he gives us. And God says, worry not, Michael, my son, because we're all his children. I'm not saying, not for my son is in Jesus. He says, worry not, Michael, my son. In the end, all shall be one. For he, you know, shall fall to vanity. That's the devil. For he who you know, shall fall to vanity, lost forever in spiritual or soulless insanity. So he's never going to repent. He mentioned before. Tasks he too shall fulfill, even unknowingly of own free will. So God's given him things to do that he's going to do without realizing he's chosen to do them himself. He's serving God without really knowing it. So he's part of God's plan. God put him, this whole holy plan, the devil was part of it. God foresaw all things. And the devil was part of his plan, unknowingly, unwittingly. Those I'll send throughout the world shall counterbalance all unswirled. So all those he's sent, from Jesus on down to his disciples, his apostles, his prophets, and all the way down to simple, humble servants like me, throughout time, or partial time, into present, all shall counterbalance all that's unswirled, which is their colors, their spiritual colors, their soul colors that are unswirled, corrupted. In other words, darkness, and those controlled by darkness. Colors aligned by my hands, so our colors, and those who serve him, their spiritual soul colors, are in alignment. As I send them out across the land. It was sent, again, all his servants have been sent throughout time, throughout the land. Bearers or carriers, presenters of my sacred words, throughout each of my sacred thirds. So as you see, it's in the Bible, the prophets, everything they said. Paul, Jesus, everything, well, David, Solomon, everybody. Their words, his words through them, we all were the bearers of his sacred words throughout each of my sacred thirds. And that's the reference to that. Somehow, time of man, all of earth time, just God's creation time, universe, or just earth time, split in the sacred thirds, which has been mentioned many times. Again, what the exact break is, my sense, which is just my sense, and I've mentioned this before, is that first thirds would be like the first man, the creation first man, down to Moses, where the law was given, and then from second thirds from then till Jesus, where sin was removed, and then final third, which we're in now, coming to an end of, is the sacred thirds, my sense. Alathiel, which would be me, my soul name, Alathiel, my scribe, whom I've awoken, so this is after I had been awoken, to share them as they are spoken. Tell Michael that I will be sharing his words as they are spoken to me. Many names shall he be known, truest form never to be shown. So many names I shall be known, saying many lives I'll have. And I know some of the names. Jacob and Joshua, to David, to some from biblical, to Abdul Rahman, to Etienne, French name. Those are just some of the ones I've known. Pascal, I think, was the name. Or as priest. I think that's all that I know of offhand. I know names of more of those that are around me than the names I was. But again, he speaks there. Alathiel, my scribe, whom I've awoken, to share them as they are spoken. Many names shall he be known. The truest form never to be shown. So my truest form will never be shown in the physical world. Of a purpose you shall see, as his path protected by thee. So he's telling Michael that the purpose of my purpose, why I was sent, that Michael shall see it as my path is protected by Michael. So he's basically giving my path the responsibility of protecting it, and me on my path primarily to Michael. Okay, cool. This ties into why him and Gabriel will be there at this my last passing. And they may have been there at all of them. I don't know. Protect, make sure I made it to where I was supposed to go. That I'm not sure of. Just at the end of this one, I do know because he's told me. Then it's Michael again. Father, Creator, all you say, I shall do without delay. Father, Creator, all you say, I shall do without delay. Grace be thine, to send as thee desire. I and my brethren to serve without tire. So he's saying, Father, I will do all that you say. The grace is yours. It's your right, your privilege to send me as you desire, and to send others as you desire. I and my brethren to serve you without tire. Infinite in nature, describing themselves and his brothers, his brethren. Infinite in nature, here to serve. Speaking of angels and those like them. Infinite nature, here to serve, of our duties shall not swerve. We shall not deviate from our duties. And God says, this I know, Michael Archangel, for darkness shall never entangle. So darkness shall never entangle them, shall never be caught up and trick them. Armored in light, it cannot defeat. It shall flee every time you meet. So everywhere Michael, time he meets darkness, it's going to flee from him. You are to be my general, or a heavenly force, even those upon their horse. So he's telling me, I'm making you're going to be my general of all my heavenly force, even those upon their horse, which is the 4 horsemen. Brethren all to come together, all brethren of God, all those of downy feather. Brethren all to come together, all those of downy feather. So all his servants sent here by God were all originally in downy feather. Some still are, some will return to that. Scribe, now referring to me again, scribe shall guide in final assault, that's going down into the pit, into the darkness's deepest vault. For he shall have the gift of knowing, always to know where he is going. That's that gift I have always had in every life, being able to find my way back to some place I'd been before, back from it. So I've had that in this life. That was awoken when I was just like 3rd grade. I've told that story before. My dad, grandfather took me and my sister hiking back into the mountains, way up on top of the mountains, and turned around and said, okay, fine, guide our way back. And he even tried to trick me, but I don't know. I found our way back. I was, 7 years old, going on 8. And I've had that gift always, always. Which is why he sent me to the deepest pit. And Michael ends it by saying, Father, thy will shall always be done, for you are the eternal one. So that's that one. wonderful, interesting message. They all are. I love them. So that's the meaning of that. Pretty straight cut. Can you believe it? Accept it. It's entirely on you. I hope that you do. So, peace of Christ. God bless.